Today is a very special day, little overcomers. We're gonna learn about pirates. Henry's pirate surprise. What do you think's gonna happen?
Let me know. Henry's Pirate Surprise, written by Justin C. H. Birch, illustrated by Helen Pohl. Whoopsies! Henry's Uncle Richard was a toy maker and lived above his shop. Henry loved to visit because his uncle would always surprise him with new toys. Then he would ask Henry to play with them over the weekend. "You are my chief toy tester," his uncle would say. "It is a very important job." This time his uncle had a special surprise for him. On a large table stood an enormous wooden ship. "Wow, a pirate ship!" exclaimed Henry. "It's amazing! This is the Stinking Rose, the finest pirate galleon to sail the 7 seas. But this is not the surprise," said his uncle. "Really? But it's fabulous. What could possibly be more surprising than this?" asked Henry. "I think the honor is mine," said a voice from inside the ship. "The ship can talk?" Henry's mouth fell wide open. "The ship doesn't talk," said his uncle. His uncle started to explain, but then a door opened on the deck and a tiny pirate captain walked into view, took off his cap, bowed to Henry and said, "Captain Eightpiece, at your service." Arrgh. Henry couldn't believe his eyes. "This is the best toy you have ever given me, ever made, Uncle Richard." "Henry, Captain Eightpiece is a real, and so is the rest of his crew," Uncle Richard whispered. "Absolutely," cried Captain Eightpiece. "My crew and I have been looking for a good ship. Fortunately, we came to your uncle's shop and found this wonderful vessel. We sail tomorrow." "But you can't be real. You're only 6 inches high," exclaimed Henry. 6.5, actually. Captain Eightpiece stood tall. "Well, if I'm not real, then you won't be able to feel this, will you?" He took out his cutlass, marched over to Henry, and poked him in the hand. "Ouch!" shouted Henry. "He did that to me too," smiled Henry's uncle. "Then he paid me for the ship with gold coins. We're going to help Captain Eightpiece and his crew launch the ship tomorrow." "Let me introduce you to my crew, dear boy," said the captain. "Men, on deck now!" He roared, and 4 tiny men appeared on the deck of the ship. "This is Barney Call, the first mate. He's in second command. And Limpy Pit, the bosun. He made sure all the crew members do their jobs properly. Periwinkle is the second mate and is in charge of navigation. And finally, Razor Clam, the helmsman. He mans the helm, which means that he steers the ship." Captain Eightpiece looked up at Henry. We could do with a cabin boy, but unfortunately you're a bit, well, big. However, we've got lots of jobs to do. If you want to help, that'd be nice." So Henry scrubbed the deck with a toothbrush. "You use toothbrushes to brush your teeth." He stacked the marbles that could be fired in the cannon. He put the pirate flag on top of the mast. "Look at it. It has a pirate skull on it. Arrgh." And he filled matchboxes with flour and cereal and other foods to get ready for their long journey. Going to be at sea for a long time. Henry stayed with the pirate crew until bedtime. The crew told him about their adventures of sailing the high seas, battling scary monsters, and finding treasure. He could have listened to them all night.
I have a treasure box right here.
When Uncle Richard told them it was time for bed, Henry reluctantly bid the pirates goodnight and promised to help them launch the Stinking Rose in the river in the morning. Then he went up to bed and was asleep in minutes. A noise downstairs woke Henry in the middle of the night. He heard a door squeak and then the sound of muffled voices. Somebody was breaking into the toy shop. Henry crept out of bed and tiptoed out of his room and across the corridor to his uncle's room. Then a voice downstairs drifted up to Henry. Blimey, Dave, look at that pirate ship. I'd fetch that petty penny. Let's steal that and get out of here quickly. Henry knew he needed to scare the burglars away. He was desperately trying to think of a plan when he felt something run up to his pajama pants leg and along his arm. Then he heard a voice whisper in his ear. Trying to figure out how to catch those burglars, are you? Good man. Captain Eight-Piece swung from Henry's ear and nose and looked him in the eyes. Limpy, Barney, and Perry, you hiding in the ship, ready to surprise them. Razor's underneath the table. Up to no good, I imagine. What's your plan? Whispered Henry. We're pirates, my boy. We'll fight them. And with that, Captain Eight-Piece jumped off and Henry's nose and ran down his arm and then onto the floor where he disappeared into the darkness.
What's gonna happen, guys? Let's find out.
Two burglars were now struggling with the Stinking Rose. Help me lift the ship up, wheezed the shorter one. The larger thief bent over the ship. Ouch! Something bit my hand! Shh, you big baby! The smaller burglar scoffed. Put your back into it. Ow! Something bit me too! Ouch! And again! Henry tried not to laugh. The crew was poking the burglars' hands with swords. Then Henry heard the buzzing of an engine. He looked up and saw the remote control helicopter. Captain Eight-Piece was throwing tiny bags of flour at the thieves' eyes. Stop, you scoundrels! Captain Eight-Piece shouted. Quick, run, let's get out of here, cried the thieves. But when the burglars tried to run, they tripped. Razor had tied their shoelaces together. Do you have shoelaces on your feet? Yahoo! Henry, wake your uncle and call the police, called Captain Eight-Piece, jumping onto the larger burglar. Razor jumped onto the shorter one's chin and threatened him with his cutlass. I don't believe it! I'm seeing things! There are pirate pixies here! Croaked the big thief as he fainted. Henry's uncle had already called the police. When Henry went to get him, he and Henry went downstairs to find the two moaning burglars tied up. But there's no sign of the pirates. Only if you listen very carefully, you could hear the laughter coming from the Stinking Rose. The pirates arrived and took the burglars away. They congratulated Henry and his uncle for catching the two men and told them that there would be a reward. The police asked if they knew why the burglars kept talking about 6-inch tall pirates, but Henry and Uncle Richard pretended not to know. I don't know. The next morning, Henry and Uncle Richard carried the Stinking Rose to the river and helped Captain Eight-Piece launch the ship. It floated perfectly. Captain Eight-Piece thanked Henry and Uncle Richard for the ship. That was lots of fun last night, Henry. If you ever grow smaller, you can definitely be my cabin boy. With the tip of his hat, he gracefully, in a graceful bow, Captain Eight-Piece jumped off to the Stinking Rose. and he and his crew sailed off toward the seven seas and new adventures. The end. Do you like pirates? I like pirates. What do they say? That's right. Ahoy! Arg! Ho, ho, ho! Yup. I mean yo ho ho. Oopsies. Bye. See you next time.